going to be some of you who, just like me, are going to go for both Abigail and Hokusai. And good luck to you guys, as I hope you guys are wishing me good luck. And there's also going to be some of you guys who are going to go for Rishka, which makes sense. Good luck to you guys as well. And of course, there's also going to be the very few of you guys who are going to be able to afford going for all three. And yeah, good luck to you guys. I hope you don't have to spend too much money. I truly hope you guys get them without breaking bank too much. But if you're tight on quartz and on the fence about which foreigner to go for in terms of gameplay purposes, then hopefully I could help you decide real quick on which one you should probably go for depending on how you play the game. Let me just say though that in general, foreigners are not as broken as you might think just because they are resistant against berserkers. And to be honest, a lot of the times you will probably go for another offensive servant over the foreigners to handle berserkers anyway. Like, that's just from my experience, just based on from what I've seen and based from what a lot of people have been saying for years in terms of foreigners and their viability in the meta. But hey, let's just focus on the two foreigners at hand right now. So both Abigail and Hokusai are designed by the same artist. They're both best friends in Chaldea. They're both the only 5-star foreigners we've gotten so far, even in JP. So like, you just can't help but compare the two. And most of all, both are coming out really soon. Abigail less than a week from now, a couple of days, maybe even today, depending on when this video is uploaded, and Hokusai in less than a month. You really need to pick one. I'm gonna try to help you decide. So at first glance, you might be like, well, Abigail's a buster servant, so obviously I gotta go after her because buster's kind of the meta right now in NA, which is understandable. She has a buster noble phantasm, which means she works really well with Merlin. Single target too, which means she's gonna hit hard no matter what. And her noble phantasm removes buffs before damage, which is what makes Amaxa really good. Amaxa does the same thing, but he's AoE. Now we have a single target, which is just extremely good in its own right. And all of her skills are really good. Her first skill affects the entire party, her second skill affects all the enemies, and her third skill, while it only affects one enemy, that could be really good against like one berserker in a challenge quest or something like that. But Abby's two biggest drawbacks are definitely her NP gain and her command cards. Any JP player who has Abigail, who has used her extensively, will tell you that Abby's NP gain is trash. It's just, there's no good way to put it. It's really bad. So you have to go out of your way and equip like craft essences and give her a bunch of buffs that's gonna hopefully mitigate her very bad NP gain, which could be an inconvenience depending on what your resources are looking like as far as like craft essences and support servants. And yeah, about her command cards, she has triple arts, which may sound good at first. It's like, okay, well, she has triple arts, which means she's gonna generate a good amount of NP anyway, who cares? But at the same time, it's also gonna hinder her overall damage because again, she has a buster noble phantasm. Therefore, she will be unable to buster chain by herself. And yes, I understand, we mentioned it earlier, that's kind of the point of Double Merlin, to help her get NP. That's kind of the point of Waver and all these other support servants, to help her get NP, to help her deal more damage. But at the same time, more often than not, unless you absolutely need the buff removal and absolutely need the defense against the berserkers, you're probably better off using other buster servants like Jolter, Kualter, Ozymandias, Gilgamesh, Bonten, Heracles, just to name a few, who will guarantee you more DPS in the long run and will end the quest a lot faster than Abigail. And again, this is not to say Abigail's a bad servant. This is not to say she's useless. It's not to say anything negative about her necessarily. She's still a very good servant, a very good character. There are just very few situations in which Abigail will outshine other options, if that makes sense. And one of those options might be Hokusai, who is almost the polar opposite of Abby in terms of gameplay. Unlike Abigail, she is an art servant, she's AoE, and her skills are mainly designed to benefit her exclusively. Automatically, you're probably thinking, well, she probably hits like a wet noodle. If we're talking about damage, Abigail has to do more damage because one, she's a buster, Hokusai is an arts, and she's an AoE. She's not going to do anything. She's going to hit like a wet noodle. Let's be honest. That is where you are very mistaken. What makes Hokusai an extremely versatile and borderline overpowered at times servant are her NP damage multiplier and her third skill. Hokusai's NP does extra damage to enemies with the mana attribute, which means almost 50% of all servants, as well as a garbage load of other enemies who are not servants but still have the mana attribute. And then you combine that with her third skill, which literally makes all of her arts cards, including her noble phantasm, inflict a 3-turn defense down, which is stackable by the way, on the targets she hits with an arts card, which pretty much guarantees Hokusai is going to hit like a truck, which means she can easily surpass single target NP damage, including Abigail. Sorry guys, sorry to my buster folks out there. To top it all off, Hokusai has decent NP gain and a flat out 30% NP gauge boost with her first skill, which makes it so she could spam out her NP pretty quickly. Then you have to take long-term viability into account as well, because right now in JP, AoEs are kind of the meta, and I have to admit that it's mainly quick servants, but you still get the occasional buster servant, you still get the occasional art servants who are still very good AoE servants, including Hokusai, including Arjuna Alter, and including Gilgamesh, who are still relevant to the meta to this very day in terms of farming and in terms of challenges. Like, they're just insane. And then you look at Tamamo and Narrowbride, two art servants who got very, very good buffs in the past year in JP. Like, they make Hokusai extremely broken. If she wasn't already good, she is insanely good right now, thanks to Tamamo and thanks to Narrowbride. So if you have either of those two, you're pretty much good if you get Hokusai, honestly. And take it from me, I got Abigail when she was first released in 2017. Literally the month she was released. And I got Hokusai a year after she was first released, a year after her initial banner in New Year's 2018. And even though I had Abigail a lot longer than Hokusai, right now Hokusai is bond 10. Abigail's only bond 6. That alone should tell you how much I use one over the other. And you could argue that I'm a bit biased because I do like Hokusai a bit more than Abigail, but even then, just strictly from a gameplay perspective, Hokusai is good in both farming and challenges, and Abigail's only good in challenges, and very few challenges will she outshine Hokusai anyway. So overall, I would say go for Hokusai if you have the resources, or more specifically, if you have Tamamo and Narrowbride, because later on they're gonna make her extremely broken. But even then, even right now, without their buffs, Hokusai is still good. So I'd say Hokusai for long-term viability. Honestly though, if you need only one reason to go after Abigail over Hokusai, it's probably this.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Master. Happy birthday, dear Master. Happy birthday to all.
And again, this is all just based on my own experiences. This is all just based on my own opinion, so you don't have to take it as a gospel. This is not a review video. This is not a professional. I'm not a mathematician. I'm not going to show you all these calculations and whatnot. But I'm just letting you know from my perspective, based on my experience, based on all the challenges, all the quests, all the farming I had to do in JP. Hokusai just seems the much more versatile, the much more useful servant out of the two. So hopefully I was able to help you kind of decide which one you want to go for, if you're only strictly going for one of them because they're foreigners and you think that they might be good as far as like gameplay purposes. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Like the video if you like it, dislike it if you disliked it, and comment down below and let me know what you think. And of course, let me know which one are you going to go for. Did I change your mind? Did I not change your mind? Do you not give a damn because you're going after Rishka again? So at that point, why are you watching this video? But either way, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and of course subscribe to become a supporting character to me, the main character, because without you guys I'd be the only character, which would suck. I don't want to be the only character. That would be ass. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.